I'm 86 years old. My name is Thomas Reed, and this is not a success story. It's a warning I didn't know I was writing until I ran out of time. Every month my pension arrives quietly. No applause, no relief. Just a reminder that this small amount now has to carry the weight of an entire lifetime. I used to think retirement meant rest. What it really means is reckoning. I buried my wife, watched friends disappear one by one, and learned, too late, that money doesn't fail you all at once. It slips away the same way life does, slowly, politely, while you're busy assuming there will be more time. I'm not telling you this to be dramatic. I'm telling you because I'm old enough to finally tell the truth. Most days now are quiet, not peaceful, quiet. There's a difference. I wake up early because my body doesn't know how to sleep in anymore. I sit at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee that's gone cold before I remember to drink it. Across from me is an empty chair. It's been empty for 8 years, but my eyes still go there first. When you're young, you think loneliness is emotional. When you're old, you realize it's practical. There's no one to split expenses with, no one to notice when something breaks, no one to help you decide what matters and what doesn't. And suddenly money feels louder than it ever did before. I didn't grow up poor, but we were careful. My father worked with his hands. My mother made every dollar stretch. They didn't teach me about pensions or retirement plans. They taught me to work hard and not ask questions. So I didn't. I started working full-time in my early 20s. Factory job, good union, stable hours. They talked about the pension during orientation, but it sounded distant, like a story about another man's life. I signed the papers without reading much. I trusted the system. I trusted time. I met my wife, Eleanor, not long after. She laughed easily. She worried more than she let on. She was better with money than I was, but she trusted me because I seemed steady. That mattered back then. We married. We had children. Life filled itself up quickly. Bills, school supplies, repairs, birthdays. I worked more hours because that's what men did. I told myself I was being responsible. I didn't see that responsibility can also be a way of hiding. The pension statements came once a year. I'd glance at the balance and feel safe. Safe is a dangerous feeling if it isn't examined. I never sat down and asked what that money would really need to do one day. I assumed it would be enough because it always had been. We lived a decent life, nothing extravagant, but I liked comfort. I liked knowing we could replace things without stress. I liked helping our kids when they struggled. I liked saying yes. It made me feel useful, necessary. I didn't think about the version of myself who would need that money more than anyone else. Retirement didn't feel like an ending. It felt like a pause. I remember thinking, I'll figure it out as I go. That thought has cost me more than I can explain. The first year was fine, almost pleasant. I kept busy, small projects, errands, long walks I pretended were for health, but were really just to avoid sitting still. Eleanor still worked part-time. There was structure. The pension covered our expenses. I didn't budget carefully. I didn't need to, I thought. I treated it like a paycheck that would never stop. I didn't consider inflation. I didn't consider medical costs. I didn't consider how long old age actually lasts. People don't talk about that part. Old age isn't a short chapter. It's a long, slow narrowing. I started spending more to make the days feel fuller. New tools, upgrades, small luxuries that felt earned. I helped family more than I should have. Loans that quietly turned into gifts. I didn't want to feel like the old man who said no. That's when the pension stopped being a safety net and started becoming a slow leak. Eleanor got sick in our early 70s. At first it was manageable. Appointments, medications, then complications, specialists, hospital stays. The pension handled it until it didn't. I watched numbers change in ways I hadn't planned for. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself we'd adjust later. Later is a word that disappears faster than you think. When she died, I lost more than my wife. I lost the second set of eyes on our life. The person who noticed things before they became problems. The person who balanced me. Suddenly, the pension had to do everything alone, just like me. I realized then that I had never truly planned for being alone, financially or otherwise. I had planned for retirement like it was a reward, not a responsibility. There are things you can't fix at this age. You can't work more. You can't start over. You can only adjust downward. I sold things, simplified, learned the real cost of health care, learned that emergencies don't announce themselves politely. They arrive and expect to be paid. I stopped helping others the way I used to. That was harder than giving up comforts. Saying no felt like losing pieces of myself. But I had waited too long to learn that generosity without boundaries becomes self-erasure. Using a pension wisely isn't about fear. It's about honesty. About knowing that the strongest years of your life are not the ones that need the most protection. Your pension is not for vacations and upgrades. It's for uncertainty. It's for decline. It's for the days when dignity depends on preparation. I wish I had built an emergency fund that was separate from everything else. I wish I had treated health care as non-negotiable instead of optional until it wasn't. I wish I had reduced debt earlier when time was still on my side. Most of all, I wish I had respected boredom. Boredom is cheaper than distraction. Distraction costs money you'll miss later. Now I live quietly, carefully. I read statements the way I once read road signs, looking for warning, not direction. Some months are tighter than others. Some decisions still sting. But I'm not bitter. Regret isn't anger. It's clarity that arrived late. If you're listening to this, I don't want you to panic. I want you to notice. Notice how easily enough turns into almost. Notice how often you assume tomorrow will adjust itself. Sit down with your future self once in a while. Ask them what they'll need. not what they'll want. Those are different questions. And remember this, money doesn't buy peace, but lack of planning steals it. I don't have many years left, I know that. I feel it when I stand up, when I forget words, when the house feels too big and too empty at the same time. I spend my pension now the way I should have all along, carefully, intentionally, with respect. I just wish I'd learned that lesson when it could have carried me further. If this story stays with you, that's enough. If it makes you pause, even better. I've said what I needed to say. The rest of my time is quieter now, and that's okay.